knew going into the game that weather was going to be a factor, and it affected both teams. They've got a tremendous quarterback, and it definitely limited their ability to throw the football as well as ours. We knew that this game was going to be won or lost up front, and it really was going to come down to who possessed the football and took care of the football well, and that's where we definitely failed, in our efforts on Saturday. We obviously threw an interception that was returned for a touchdown in our lone incompletion. We also put 3 balls on the turf that we ended up recovering, but kill the momentum of the drive, right? It's not a positive play. You don't gain yardage there. You're losing yardage, if anything. So in that area, we really failed. And but I thought our guys up front in the offensive and defensive line played well enough for us to win that football game. And we had our opportunity at the end to have to put a drive together with 1 timeout and basically a 2-minute situation. And we just failed to do so. Obviously you want to have those opportunities. You want to have the ball in your hand with an opportunity to win the game against a great opponent. And we did, and we just failed to come away with it. I thought all 3 of our running backs did a great job running the football, moving the chains when necessary, falling forward, making some tacklers miss. I think we put them in position to have to carry the game for us and carry our offense. And they did a really good job of that. We possessed the ball for longer than we probably have all season in the game. We were able to move the chains and get some third and manageables. And in a game when you can't throw the football as effective as you like to because of the weather, that was huge for us. And we put together an 18-play, 95-yard drive for a touchdown in the second quarter, and that was all on the shoulders of our running backs. Primarily, Justin Felder had a great drive right there in the second quarter that really carried us, and to put a score, on the board and to go in at halftime down 12-7 as opposed to 12-0, that was huge, and it also answered a scoring drive by New Haven, so that was really big. And I think in a game like that, you buy into like this is the mentality that we have to have. We have to be able to physically manhandle the guy across from us and hand the ball off and be able to fall it forward for 3-4 yards at a clip. And we've got the talent and the depth at the running back position to do that. I think our ties in New Jersey are obviously deep. We've always had some great players that have come from there. It's a state where when I was an assistant coach, I recruited the entire state by myself, and that was the only area to recruit. So I was very aware of how much talent was down there. There's so many high schools, so many high school football programs. There's no Division II college football programs in the state. So if you're not a Division III or if you're not an FBS or FCS student athlete in football, you have to go out of state. Obviously, you have the Pennsylvania state schools that are right nearby, and we've got a great academic reputation. We have a lot of ties. A lot of guys have come, through our program from down there. So we have a reputation in a lot of those schools, and it's not that far of a trip for us to travel to recruit, or for them to travel to go to school. It's far enough where they're still getting the experience that they're going away to college, but close enough where their family and friends get to see them play football every weekend in the fall. So it's really been a great state for us in terms of production and the number of athletes that we get there, and then also just the quality of student athletes that we've been able to recruit from there. There's obviously some great high school programs. There's some great high schools academically, and within the Catholic school system, there's a number of schools down there that are familiar with Stonehill. The guidance counselors are familiar with Stonehill, and the type of education that we offer here. And I think that's obviously a big attraction for those student athletes. I think, with Mike's induction into the Hall of Fame, obviously it speaks to his body of work while he was a student athlete here at Stonehill, the amount of respect that his teammates, his peers, other alumni, the athletics department had for him and his career, and the full body of work, right? I think it's, no one's going to get inducted into the Hall of Fame or recognized with this honor based off of one season. He was somebody that did it over and over again, and he was a tough, talented, smart football player, and he represented this program. From what I've heard, from everybody that's talked about him, he represented it to the highest degree, and I think the more we can recognize people like that have set that tone and that trend for our program and help us get to where we are today, the better. So we're really honored to have him being inducted and representing our program in the Hall of Fame. We're at the point now where we're throwing out anybody's record at this point in the season. It's Everybody's dinged up. Everybody's battled through to this point. And it's going to be a tough football game. We always play them tough. They always play us tough. We've never won against AIC at Springfield. I mean, we beat them for the first time in school history last season. So now a chance to go on the road for our last road game of the year and play them. And obviously, we're not where we want to be at this point in the season either. So I think both teams are going to be really hungry for a win. Both teams are going to throw everything that they can against their opponent. And trying to try to steal one tomorrow. I think elements might play a factor again. I don't think it'll be anything like last weekend, but it's always the team that plays us tough, that we play tough. And Coach Wilkins has obviously demonstrated a career of success over a number of years. He knows how to prepare a football team to play, and they've, regardless of the record, they've played really hard against some really great opponents to this point in the season. So we know we're going to get their best effort tomorrow. Offensively, they've rotated a couple different quarterbacks at this point in the season and really trying to, figure out what the right direction is to go there. So we're trying to prepare to play all three at some point. Their running back is one of the best running backs in the league. He's really dynamic. He's a thicker back, but he's got the speed to run away. He's had some great games against some great defenses in our conference already. So he's a dynamic playmaker, someone that you need to pay attention to. And they've got some talented receivers that can really stretch defenses. I think they've kind of been feast or famine a little bit on some shot plays, and if you can withstand those 4 or 5 deep shots that they're going to take every game, you're in a good shape defensively. But they've got some really talented receivers that can stretch your coverage. Defensively, they've gone to more of a 3-down front. They were more of a traditional 4-down, so they've made some tweaks there. We do some similar things to them, so I think our scout teams were able to give some really good looks to our offense. But they play really hard and really physical. That's their MO every year. Their defensive line, their linebackers are tough. They're aggressive. They've got some athletic defensive backs that can challenge the football in the air and make plays in space. So they're going to challenge you in a couple different ways. They'll bring some pressure, try to give you some different looks, some controlled chaos at times. So for us, it's about staying true to our techniques. Offensively, we've got to be able to establish the run and win up front. They're a 3-down front, and they're going to give us some different looks. So we've got to really be able to control the ball, control our drives, and put us into some manageable situations to throw the football and to take advantage of some things that we're going to see coverage-wise. Defensively, it's all about stopping the run and stopping their talented tailback and really staying on top in coverage. They're going to try to run the ball, and then hit you with play action and try to take the top off. So we've got to be alert in the secondary and finish on the football. Special teams, we got to come up with a big play. There's going to be some opportunities for us to really swap the field position at some point, and we've got to take advantage of that. I thought we did a really good job of that last week, particularly in punting. And we lacked in some other areas, so I think a full, consistent special teams effort is really going to go a long way to victory.